Hey, this is Carl from Electric Bike Blog, Electric Tree Farmer, and I'm here to show you how I'm planting thousands of hazelnut plants from seed here on my property, and it's in the fall. So normally you would plant them in the spring, but the problem is that my hill is just too wet to get up there in the spring. So I'm planting these seeds in the fall with the hopes that no squirrel or chipmunk's gonna come and dig them all up. This is the soil I used to plant it with. It's been sitting for about 3 years. It's a combination of 50-50 willow mulch and cow poop. And I shovel it into these 5-gallon buckets and then drive it up the hill in my wife's RAV4. So here you can see my property. I've got about 42 acres. And these short tree tubes, I bought a bunch of scrap tree tubes and cut them up into sections for about 50 cents a tube. And it's much cheaper and faster to do that than to do wire mesh cages, which is what I used to do. And if you look in each of these, you'll see there's a seedling for a hazelnut, a yearling, seedling. So the ones that are in tubes, they're a special seedling I got from Z's Nutty Ridge that he's been propagating for a while. And so you can see that basically every other one I'm going to plant just a seed that I got that's not good genetic variety. So the idea is that I'm basically double planting everything with the hopes that half of these are going to produce. And I've dug about 13 ponds on the property, mostly for wildlife, all with a bulldozer. It's been a pretty intense experience. And so what I'm doing is I'm alternating the good genetic variety with just the stuff that I get from wherever. So you can see in this bucket here, I've got the bag full of the 100 P4s, and then I've got a bucket full of just stuff that I picked, some of the larger nuts that I picked. And then in the holes, what I do is I kind of spread the wood chips around so I get a little bit down in the little hole down to the clay, and then I put 1 scoop of the willow mulch and cow manure, then I put the seed, and then I put 1 more handful on top of the seed and gently pat it down. So that's pretty much all I do, and so far with the chestnut trees I've had a 93% take rate with that method, and so I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm not sure how well it's going to work planting stuff in the fall, but I'll post an update to this in the spring. So I just want to speak to the idea of scale when you're trying to develop your farm. I certainly never set out to plant 6,000 to 7,000 trees in a year, although that's sort of what's going to end up happening. And a lot of it is, it's best to just do the most amount that you feel comfortable doing. So it's hard to decide how much to do, and just start doing it. I mean, if I stop and think about what I'm doing, it gets really overwhelming. And if I just put my head down and just shovel wood chips and shovel poop and do what needs to get done, then it just gets done. And it really helps to have a good helper. So my tenant here has been helping me out, and it's great if I wake up and have to shovel wood chips for 8 hours. It's really nice to do that with somebody else. So I would say try not to get too discouraged. Do as much as you can, and whatever you end up with is whatever you end up with, so don't judge yourself for it. When I bulldozed the hill, I left a lot of trees in place because I didn't want to knock everything down and just make a monoculture of hazelnuts and chestnuts. I really want the diversity there for the wildlife, and I really want the land to heal. This land has been abused for a lot of years, and now it's finally being taken care of in the way that it should be. So I feel pretty good about what I'm doing. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.